Hey guys, it's me, Magic Keys, and I know it's been a while since I did a video with this wonderful program, but today I'm going to be talking about the Rewired Soul and how much of a scumbag he is. If you don't know, this is the Rewired Soul's channel. He claims to make mental health videos, but it's really just drama, and there's some really shitty things going on there. Like, I was going to get into this video, because this video really irks me. I've seen a bit of it already, but I'm also tempted to get into these, because that's just like so clickbaity and just disgusting to use someone's death freshly for views like that. Like, I was never like a fan of Juice WRLD, but like I just find it really messed up that you'd go and make a video on him after like 4 hours after he died, I think. So I don't know which one I'm going to start off here. I could make this a part episode. So tomorrow I'm going to be covering like the things with Onision. I pulled up this tab to like show a clip, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be diving into these videos. I've only seen like 2 minutes, like 2 seconds of this one, and I'm already mad. So we know your girl already has a lot of things to say over here. But anyway, I don't know why I keep going back to that. But anyway, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this tragedy. I'm gonna make sure the audio's good. I find it funny how I'm using a streaming platform for this, but anyway, we're gonna get right into this. We're gonna get mad. We're gonna realize even further how much of a manipulator the Rewired Soul is and how messed up he is. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to start this over, I think, a little bit. Nope, I don't. Okay. That's cool. That's fine. So, don't judge me for using Firefox. It's the best browser. And, okay, let's get into this.
We just received the very sad news that the 21-year-old rapper Juice WRLD has passed away after having a seizure in an airport. And there's a lot of talk about substance abuse and everything like that. And
here we go. Chris already trying to dig into a diagnosis of this rapper. I think it was even before like the whole overdose thing came out, like it was before that. But he's already in there, like trying to like flex his knowledge, being like, I know what happened. I'm so knowledgeable about all of this. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at talking. But I'm so knowledgeable about all of this, and I'm one of the best creators out here, and I know so much about substance abuse because I used to be an addict, which really, like, I'm proud of you for recovering from your addiction, but it doesn't mean anything in the long run, because sure, you've been through it, but it doesn't mean that you know what the fuck you're talking about, or that you can comment on other people's issues. Like, him with the Onision thing, like, he's not experienced, he never, that I know of, experienced sexual abuse or anything, so I'm not sure, like, why he's really commenting on it, like, he knows, like, the perfect solution to everything, but, oh well, let's get back into this.
as a recovering drug addict who's been clean for 7 years, I want to talk about some things that might save your life or the life of someone you know.
With a problem.
What's up, everybody? This is Chris from the Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem,
But focus on the problem.
And if you're new to my channel, the things that I'm really passionate about are mental health, psychology, drug addiction, and really trying to give people hope that change is possible. So if you're into that stuff, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification.
You mean get views and money from this? Because you don't really care about people. If you really cared about people, you'd just be making videos about mental health anyway, and not using creators or artists for your clickbait, but we all know what you truly want, and you've been exposed for a while ago to, like, stop making these kind of videos, and you tried, but we all knew that the need for views was too much for you, and hey, at least your views went down, but it still got more views than most of your other videos normally get anyway, so...
Bell, and I'm also over on Instagram and Twitter if you want to follow me at The Rewired Soul. All right? So let's jump into this. Those of you who don't know me, I'm a recovering drug addict. I got clean on my 27th birthday, June
Good for
23rd,
you.
2012. My drug of choice was prescription opioids, so I talk quite a bit about the prescription drug epidemic, and we're going to be talking about Xanax.
Okay, so about this is like kind of, you can go back to this, but Chris from the Rewired Soul, he shames people that are on like benzos for their mental health problems, like they're prescribed benzos, and he goes and shames them, being like, how can you be sober? Like, if you want to know more about that, like check out like Bipolar Corner or / Gary Unfiltered. I don't know what channel it's on. You can check out him. He's talked about how this man right here has shamed him for being prescribed benzos, and he's really anti-medicine. Like his video about like him running out of medicine once, and how he encourages people to not take medicine, basically, yet he claims to be this like mental health professional or whatever. So yeah, that's that.
Quite a bit in this, because Juice WRLD, a couple of his substance of choices were codeine, which is a prescription opioid, as well as Xanax, which is a benzodiazepine, which is usually used to treat anxiety, but it's also abused a lot, especially in the rap community. All right, but aside from that, I also worked at a drug and alcohol treatment center for a little over 3 years. We did everything from detox to inpatient to outpatient, as well as aftercare. So when I saw this news about Juice WRLD this morning, it's already sad enough to see, you know, a young person die, especially one who's just hitting their stride and about to, you know, just be set for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? And yeah, so when this happened, whenever I hear of a young person passing away, my mind immediately goes to substance abuse. And
That's not always the case, though. Sometimes people have like seizures, or they commit suicide, or they get in an accident, or it's just not that, and they already had a problem. And the idea, like, oh, they're on substances, like, yeah, he was on substances, but it's just kind of slimy, like, to immediately just assume things about a person when they just died, you know, like, that's really insensitive to someone's family, their friends, their fans, even though they're detached from the person. Like, this whole video is just really, like, slimy and disgusting, if I'm gonna be honest.
and this is because I have seen so many people die from substance abuse. Okay? So, as of right now, what we know is that Juice WRLD had a seizure in the Chicago airport. When they took him to the hospital, he later died at the hospital as a result of that seizure. So it is not clear what caused that seizure yet, but things are leaning towards substance abuse. All right, so as I was researching for this video to see Juice WRLD's history, if he had any substance abuse problems,
This is just kind of creepy. Like, you knew you were gonna make this video, so you, like, as soon as you found out he was dead, you, like, started, like, researching and, like, trying to find, like, his medical history or his family's history. Like, isn't that just creepy and weird? Like, who are you, and why are you sitting here making this video? Like, you're not his psychologist, you're not anyone close to him. It's not your business, really. I mean, he's dead, but it's just really disgusting. Like, 4 hours after this guy died, before it was even broadcasted by TMZ, like, what happened. This man was already on here trying to get his coin and trying to clickbait people to find out what happened to him. Like, maybe this is their first way of hearing about his death, which I doubt, but it could be. And then this is just what you do, like, you clickbait it for views to try to, like, pick the best title. And I think for a while this was actually monetized. I saw a comment about there being, like, an ad roll here, but it's not anymore. But he's still just really slimy. He's probably gonna promote one of his books at the end, or his merch or something. And it's just really slimy. Like, how could you just sit here in front of the camera and use someone's death for views?
plenty of interviews of him talking about trying to get off codeine because he really, you know, had his girlfriend scared. He also talks about his issues with Xanax and everything like that. So, like I said, a lot of the evidence right now is leaning towards substance abuse. We're not gonna know for sure until the toxicology report comes out, but I'm gonna come back to that in just a little bit because even the toxicology report might not tell us if it was a substance abuse issue, and I'll explain why a little bit later. All right, so the first thing I
All
wanna dive
right.
into is why is it so hard for people to quit using drugs, to quit drinking, whatever their addiction is, all right?
All
So
right.
specifically, when we're looking at Juice WRLD, all right, and we've seen this happen to other people, like another rapper, Macklemore, who's been off and on with his sobriety, right? We had Lil Peep die just a few years ago from his substance abuse. Why is it so difficult for people to quit? And a lot of it has to do with their environment and their identity, okay? And this isn't
Okay.
just rappers, all right? I want everybody to realize this. Like I said, whether you're somebody struggling with substance abuse issues or if you have a family member or loved one who is, some of you who are in recovery, like feel free to share your experience down in the comments below. But one of the biggest issues with substance abuse is that we're afraid to get rid of it because it is woven into our identity, right? So when you look at somebody like Juice WRLD or other people in the music industry, it's difficult to quit because if you quit, right? If you quit, that also means that you are also
The thing is, why couldn't you have made this video without using his name? Like, if you really care about, like, exposing the truth about substance abuse, you would have just made this video not mentioning Juice WRLD. You could have gave, like, maybe you could have said something in the video, but to just use his name in the title. And I think this had, like, a picture of him. I'm not sure if it did, but anyway, even if it didn't, it's just still very clickbaity because people are going to be searching Juice WRLD for, like, to find out who he is, his music, memorial videos that are not for clickbait, but are just like, you know what I mean. But they'll go and they'll search and they'll see your video, and it's just really slimy and insensitive. Like I said, I feel like I'm just repeating myself here, but it is what it is.
leaving different friends, right? Different people that you hung out with. Because part of your friendship might have been based on using substances. And this is part of my experience. One of the things that kept me in my addiction for almost a decade was my identity was wrapped up in it. If I quit drinking, if I quit using, if I quit partying, all these things, like who am I? Right? I'm no longer the guy who's going out to the bar and snorting lines of coke in the bathroom. You know what I mean? I'm no longer the guy who's, taking these pills and also hooking other people up with pills and everything like that. So there are a million different reasons why addiction is so difficult to overcome, but one of them is because of our environment and being afraid of losing that. So it's not just losing the substance, right? And why do people use substances? A lot of times it's to mask some kind of pain. All right, the three primary reasons that people abuse alcohol or drugs is to get a feeling, to get rid of a feeling, or to have an escape, right? And that's one of the reasons why I try to talk about different coping strategies on my channels, because I had to learn how to live with life on life's terms without abusing substances. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, like I'd imagine, Juice WRLD and a lot of other young people, like it might start out as just being the cool thing to do, like, yo, let's use together, or let's get messed up, whatever it is. Like it might start like that, but with the way our brain works, when we start getting these negative emotions, right? Anger, sadness, anxiety, all these different things. Like our brain says, well, those drugs made you feel pretty good. Why don't you use it for that? And what happens is our brain starts associating those bad feelings with getting messed up. So pretty soon, we're not just drinking and using to party, we're doing it to cope with life. And that is one of the main reasons why, we need therapy. Sometimes we need antidepressant medications, right?
I find it funny how his last video though, he was like, "Oh, if you're on antidepressants, you should try to go off of them because it's sometimes it's just better to be unmedicated." And he was encouraging this idea like Oh, go off your medications for some time. You should try not to be on medications. When really that shouldn't be the goal. Like, sure, medications won't make you happy, but you need them for a reason, and going off them could be a really bad idea for some people, and it's messed up that he encourages that.
And I'm going to talk about non-narcotic anti-anxiety medications in a second. We need support groups, you know, whatever it is, right? There's so many things that I have to do for my mental health on a daily basis so I don't go back to those substances, okay? So now let's talk about seizures and substance abuse. So here's the thing, like, no matter what, when you are trying to get off a substance, get medical help. The best thing you can do is to go to a detox facility, okay? Two substances that can kill you from withdrawal are Xanax and alcohol, all right? When you're withdrawing from Xanax and alcohol, there is a likelihood of seizures, all right? So when looking at Juice WRLD, looking at his struggles with substance abuse issues, when I see someone died of a seizure, right, who had no prior medical history of seizures.
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, like, if they have any medical history, and even if they don't, it's still possible for someone to have a seizure anyway. But sure, Chris, like, he did overdose, but it's just, he's assuming so much before any of the news even came out, and that's disrespectful to him and his family. Like, even with the past substance abuse, like, it might not have even been that, even. Like, it was, but you know what I mean. Hypothetically, it could have not been, and that just makes it worse. And it just, to shine a light on someone like this, like, when they're already dead, about their, like, dark secrets, it's just kind of, it's just messed up.
It seems like this was a result of withdrawal. So with Juice WRLD traveling, it is possible that he ran out of the drugs and this was part of withdrawal, okay? So that's why I was talking about earlier, like, as you pay attention to this story and watch this story, and when toxicology reports come out, you might not find out that he had Xanax in his system, because you can die from seizures from withdrawing from Xanax, which would mean that the drugs weren't in the system. And Xanax withdrawal can cause seizures for a long time after you quit. After you stop using the substance, it can happen for weeks after. Like, personally working in the drug and alcohol treatment center, I saw people who came in and got, clean off Xanax, and thank God they were in our treatment center where we had nurses 24/7 and doctors and everything like that. I saw people who had, like...
Also about Chris, like, this isn't as relevant, but the way he talks about this treatment center, he acts like he was like a psychiatrist there, when really he was just like a kind of like an AA buddy. Like, you know, it's not AA because it's not, everything's like not all alcohol, but you know what I mean. Like, he was just there. He doesn't have any credentials. He's just someone like experienced himself, which, yeah, it's important because they understand. But he sits here and he acts like he's a mental health professional when he's really just an AA buddy for all kinds of drug use.
A seizure a week for the first month. I remember one kid who came in there getting off Xanax. He was sober for about a month and a half, and I'm just sitting there doing a group, right? I'm sitting there doing my normal group, and for some reason, right at that moment, I caught glances with this kid, and he just turned stiff as a board and fell out of his chair and started having a seizure, because the withdrawal from Xanax can happen for a while after. We always have to remember, these are mind-altering substances, okay? Seizures are a result of what's happening in the brain and something not working right, some misfires and everything like that. So that's how these substances can lead to having a seizure later on, okay? So I just want to end with this. When people are young, especially when they're successful, like, we get this idea that we're invincible. You know what I mean? We see so many people around us drinking or using or whatever, we think...
That's true, because kids do think they're invincible and they think they can do anything. And I agree with him on that. I don't know much about the effects of the drug, but he might be right about that. I'd have to research it, and he probably has experience with that because he's like an AA buddy, so he probably knows about that. And his mom's like a psychologist or something. But anyway, like, that's a good message. But why would you do it under a Juice WRLD video? Why are you clickbaiting someone's death? And it's just not right. Like, who are you? You're not trying to reach people who are looking for help here. You're trying to look for fans and who are just gonna get offended by this video, and it's just totally wrong and messed up. And it shows that you don't actually care. Because if you really wanted to make this video with this message, you could do it all without Juice WRLD in the title, and you could have mentioned him, sure. You could have mentioned him. I wouldn't have any problem with that. Like, if it was a few months down the line, you wanted to mention him for an example, that's cool. But right now, it's just such an insensitive time for everybody to just, not long after his death, to just do this right immediately. Like, oh, this is a story you wanted to get views. Like, it's just so obvious your intentions here, and if you really cared about it, you wouldn't go about making these videos this way.
That this can't happen to us. I've seen way too many people pass away. Most of the people I've seen pass away from substance abuse issues were probably, I think the majority were between 18 and 26 years old. Like, and that's so sad, man. That's so sad. I've had friends 24, 25 years old who have passed away from this thing. So I know Juice WRLD had a lot of fans out there, and my suggestion is, if you want to honor his memory, like, try to help people. Get help for yourself, whatever it is. Like, I'm living proof, as well as millions of other people, that you can have a substance abuse problem and kick it to the curb. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
But
proud of you
anyways,
for that.
that's all I got for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. And a huge, huge thank you to everybody who supports the channel over on Patreon, as well as everybody who supports the channel by buying my mental health books at
Yep, there's the
therewiredsoul.com,
book plug.
or the merch that we got, like this shirt with our beloved
Merch.
cat Wyatt. Alright, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next
Yeah,
time.
there's just some videos you don't attach to that, and I'm just gonna scroll for the comments a little bit. Yeah, inside scoop, not educating awareness. If you're interested in facts, you wouldn't have made a video before there were any. Yeah. I'm just gonna read some comments because they say things like, dude, he just died and you don't know what caused it. You were disgusting human beings. The emoji just said, I heard a famous person died. Let me hurry up and see if they did drugs so I can capitalize. Don't waste any time capitalizing on his death, huh? This is J station levels of deplorable. Stop pretending you are number one, a mental health professional, and number two, making this content for awareness. You're doing it for attention. You are addicted to the attention it gets to you. Stop making assumptions and leave his family in peace. You don't know what causes death. Well, now we do. Chris, you're a vulture. You have not failed to disappoint at every turn in 2019. Also, no, I didn't watch the video. Can't be bothered. You were awful. The kid isn't even cold yet. You just had to post the video as fast as possible to capitalize on the early clicks. You know your video will get lost if you choose to wait. You know you won't have as much money if you wait. I'm gonna say you're right. We're talking about serious subjects. I believe it's best to do it when it's fresh in people's minds. Sure, it is. He could have done this any time, and people would look this stuff up. But he had to do it now. No empathy. The kid just died. You made to see like 4 hours after his death was announced. There's making a video while the topic's still relevant, and there's being a jerk. You could have waited at least a day, probably more, and the topic would have still been relevant. Heck, you could have posted the video about his death included, because addiction is a real concern, but you wanted to spread lies and rumors to get views and money. That's why you monetized it in the first place. Picking the bones of the dead, again, you're a ghoul and a predator. Yeah, like, he capitalized faster than Jay Station, so, and then he made another video. How long has this been going on for? Oh my, okay, we're gonna watch this one. We're gonna speed it up a little bit, though, I think.
Honestly, I think the situation sucks, and what really, really sucks about it is that, yes, he died from a seizure, but I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with, you know, all the drugs that he was taking and consuming and things like that. And no, I'm not trying to, you know, be like, you know, have a rush situation where I'm saying, see guys, you see what happened? This is why drugs, you don't do drugs. Drugs are for losers. Da, da, da. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just simply trying to say that it sucks because this is something that could have possibly been prevented.
Yeah, so Dante brought up a lot of really good points because right now a lot of fans are in the grieving process, and I kind of wanted to break that down and discuss from my perspective as somebody who is a recovering drug addict, as well as somebody who's trying to help in the stigma and create more of a conversation around these issues.
You bring more stigma to other mental health issues. I'm not sure about the drug addiction, but you still bring a lot of stigma to the community, so I'm not sure what you're talking about here, man. Jesus. These videos are so much better faster.
What's up, everybody? This is Chris from the Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem but focus on the solution. And if you're new to my channel, I am very passionate about mental health, drug addiction, recovery, and all that. And my
You're
hope is that we
passionate
can
for
learn
money.
from what's happening in the public eye, and I want to see what we can learn from it to hopefully avoid some of these tragedies that are happening all around us. So if you're into that stuff, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. So I'll be honest with you guys, I'm making this video because there's been mixed reviews about the
What did you expect? You posted the video 4 hours after, and you're like, there's been some mixed reviews around the situation. Like, what?
video I did earlier. Some people are, thanking me for discussing this topic.
I didn't see anyone
Like I
thanking
said,
you.
we don't know. None of us know if for sure what happened to Juice WRLD was a result of drugs. But I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter. The likelihood that it was related to drugs goes up. All right, somebody without a previous medical history of seizures, with a history of drug addiction, specifically to Xanax, there is more of a likelihood, but we do not know for sure. And that rubbed some people the wrong way. And one of the reasons, there's a couple reasons that I personally discuss these things when it happens. Like one of the
Views?
criticisms is it's too soon. It's too soon to talk about this, and I wholeheartedly disagree.
Of course you disagree, because you want to pocket the money, you want attention, you want people to hate you, you even want people to hate you even about this. So I guess you won in that regard, but you just want the attention and the money and the clicks and the views, because that's your new addiction, Chris. I can talk about this for a long time, but it's your new addiction, and of course you would disagree with that, and if you ever lost someone, you would know how it, well, you have, so you should know how it feels if someone was to sit down like an hour after they died and record a video being like, this is what happened, how he really died, and just acting all like, look at me, I'm a professional about it, like, it's just really cold, and it's concerning that you don't see that. Like, how do you not see that? I don't know.
All right, for some people, their commitment is to gun laws, right? And after a mass shooting happens, everybody's talking about gun laws.
There's a difference, though. Kind of. I kind of see your point there, but with the shootings, the reason it's talked about right after is because, it's in the news. I'm trying to think through my reasoning here, because that is actually kind of a fair point, but you do it for views. Like, your video was monetized. They're just on Twitter being like, this is what needs to be changed. They're going to the Senate. Like, they're not going to the Senate, but they're writing to the Senate. They're, like, sending a message to government. Or you're just over here sitting on your ass and making a YouTube video being like, oh yes, this is what needs to be done. This is what I assume, you know? And it's just, there's just a difference. Where the shootings, there's already intolerance built up. They're not making money from it. They're not clickbaiting with it. They're just tweeting. They're writing to senators. They're just expressing their anger. Well, you're just over here acting like you're some professional when you're not, because you have no credentials. and you're just sitting here lying, pretending like you care when you really don't. And now you're bringing this person into it. I don't even know who this is, but I'm sure they wouldn't like that you're bringing up their pain and their worries and how they feel like they probably feel like they failed Juice WRLD, you know? So it's just, what? Why did you make a second video after the backlash over the first one? You know what was gonna happen.
And what people say is it's
Yep,
too
there
soon.
it is.
It's too soon to talk about gun laws, right? And I disagree with those people too. When these things are fresh in people's minds, that is the time to talk about it. It is right then when we need
To talk about it in a right way, and in a way that doesn't get you any gains, in a way that's not slimy. That's how you talk about it? Okay? That's how you talk about it.
talk about it because the news cycle goes so quick. We are constantly flooded with information. If you go to Twitter right now, this morning, Juicy WRLD was trending across the board, and now he's still trending, but there's a bunch of other just nonsense going on. That's how quick.
Yeah, but when there's things that people care about, like Juice WRLD, like all his fans, I feel like they would still be interested in the video. Like if you did this a few months down the line, it'd be less slimy and it would make like more sense. I guess it's still slimy, but it would make more sense, and they'd still care, and other people would still care too. But you just know you want the views and your pocket money. So that's what you did, and you didn't even wait a day or two. It would have been better if you waited a day or 2 days. That would have been better. I still would be disgusted by it, but that would be so much more better of a thing to do. Okay?
This stuff leaves our mind. So for people like myself who are trying to make a change, trying to make a difference, trying to increase awareness, we gotta talk about it as
Go
it
to Twitter
happens.
then.
It's the same thing with
It don't promote your shit.
when suicide happens. You know what I mean? Like the impact of discussing it right when everybody's thinking about it and hurting from it. Like that is much more impactful than talking about it years later, because
But you should still try to talk about it years later. Like, maybe not about the person specifically, but it shouldn't be just, oh, I'm only going to talk about it now because that's where it's going to benefit me the most and make me feel like the best person the most. A person who truly cares will be talking about it all the time, not doing this, clickbaiting, all that stuff. Like, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. You don't worry about the views or the money or the attention. You worry about changing one person's lives, two person's lives. You don't care about, oh, this is gonna get 1 million views if I do this. No, this is gonna help 5 people today. That is what should be important to you, Chris, not getting all the attention right away.
that state of heightened emotions, we're going to be impacted more than like, oh, years ago, Robin Williams took his own life. You know what I mean? But anyways, after seeing some of the backlash, that I got, and like I said, there was plenty of good comments as well. A friend of mine actually sent me this video from Dante, and he brought up a lot of good points.
And a lot of the videos that I did on him, drugs were brought up a lot. It was pills, perks. It was Molly, everything. It was a lot of drugs that were brought up a lot, and I would address it each and every time. I was like, yo, is anybody hearing this? Like, I hope he does, I hope this is just for the song. I hope he cuts this out. Like, stop. He needs to stop this. That I would say it in every single video, because a lot of artists, they come across my video, whether it's their fans sending it to them or y'all sending it to them, they come across it. And I was hoping that he would eventually come across one of them, see it, and I could get the message him, and honestly, get him, hey man, sell them drugs, right? You want to cut that out, things like that. But that's why I would always stress it heavy in my videos, because that was a serious issue that I kept noticing. It was a reoccurring topic. This wasn't just like in one song or 3 songs off of an album. This would be like on every single song he was talking about doing drugs.
So yeah, obviously, Dante doesn't know or didn't know Juice WRLD, but he was a concerned fan, right? And I think this is one of the most important things ever, because, again,
You were never concerned for him before. Not that I'm saying that you would know rap, but it's just very double-sided, I guess.
I don't agree with the idea that we shouldn't talk about this stuff because we're a very reactive culture, right? We don't do anything until something terrible happens. Until something awful happens, we don't do anything. We don't talk about gun laws until a high school gets shot up, right?
Actually, that's not true. The people who are really passionate, they'll talk about it any day of the week. It's just they'll talk about it in a more intense way when it just happens.
We don't talk about drug addiction until something happens or someone dies. For example, a great example is Lil Peep. Like I'm Dante's talking about, like Lil Peep was doing the same thing. Lil Peep was talking about his mental health issues. He was talking about his substance abuse issues. Next thing you know, he overdosed on a combination of Xanax that was mixed with fentanyl, right? Something I'm Dante is talking about is his fans were getting upset, Juice WRLD's fans were getting upset that whenever Andante was reviewing tracks from Juice WRLD, he was bringing up that Juice WRLD was discussing his drug addiction issues. So it wasn't just in Juice WRLD's music either. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Dante didn't even mention the interviews, like the countless interviews where Juice WRLD talked about his substance abuse issues. And I think that's the part that breaks my heart so much is we are watching, especially musicians, we are watching them slowly die right in front of our eyes. And I don't know what we need to do as a culture to try to remedy this. Like in my last video, I talked about the identity that people attach to their addiction or their substance abuse. It's very similar when it comes to mental illness, right? Like I think Chester Bennington is a prime example of that. His career, like what brought Linkin Park to fame and stardom was talking about very real mental health issues like anxiety and depression, right? But had Chester gotten over that, would he have lost the music and what brought him that fame? And that's something that's very tricky for artists.
I don't think artists would. I mean, they might feel that way, but I think they've experienced that so they can still write from it. And it's just, yeah.
I can't even imagine. Something that I wonder, I get curious about, and I would love to interview a musician about this, is, you know, if certain musicians decide not to get treatment, to decide not to get help because they fear that it might take away from their music or the image that they've created, right? Like, let's put it in perspective real quick. How much money do you think a rapper like Lil Peep made off of songs about using drugs?
I mean, they can make any kinds of songs. Like, they can make songs about like how many women they bang, and they'd still get a lot of views. It's just how people like the music. They like the beat, they like the lyrics, they like the flow. You know, they like how it makes them feel. Like the weird autotune. Like I don't get it, but they just like the speed, the pace, like the beats. You know, so that's what they like. It doesn't have to be about drugs because I don't think people don't even listen to the lyrics really. They just pick a song that's like grooving and they'll play it. So they'd still get views. I don't think it's about that really.
How much do you think Juice WRLD made off of tracks talking about drugs? How many of those tracks were some of their most popular songs, right? And we think about the psychology of positive reinforcement, and it's like, okay, I make a song about the drugs I'm using, and it's very well received. Everybody loves it, I make money off of it, that supports myself, my family, my friends, whoever it is, right? So then it makes it harder, I would imagine, for them to actually quit using those substances because they're getting positively rewarded for it. And I don't know what the solution is for that, right? Because people like Juice WRLD, people like Chester Bennington, people like Lil Peep, their music is saving other people's lives. I've seen countless tweets today from people saying how like the music from Juice WRLD impacted their lives in a positive way, right? But should these artists stay sick in order to help others? Like,
They don't have to. They can still make music about the stuff. I don't know. This is kind of a bit of a tangent because I know the artists do that, but it's just, I guess for any artist, not that they'd be watching, but they don't have to. If they've been for this, they could write the songs about it. But people would much rather see them get better and recover. They could have an album in recovery, so people would go and recover too. You know, like that's just how it is. Like people, and plus music that's not even like, I don't know, just music like already is positive because people like feel good with like the beat and all that, and it just that's what it is. Like it just makes them feel better and brighter and feel like, oh, someone gets me. But I don't think anyone would stop watching someone because they're not making songs about how they snort Xanax every day. Like, you know?
That's just one of these weird things that I think we should all take into consideration. But kind of like Dante said, like, I don't know. There's just something I think there's a problem with when we're sitting here watching somebody suffering from something as serious as a drug addiction, and we say, don't talk about it, don't talk about it, don't talk about it, and then somebody dies, and we're like, why didn't we do something about it?
Because it's like you even, because you weren't even talking about it. I mean, you do, but you use other people to talk about it. So it's like, who are you to do this? Like, you do the same thing. That's your whole channel. You use Eugenia Cooney to talk about anorexia, even though you never were anorexic. Or you use who else was it? I'm trying to think. You talk about things that you haven't even experienced, and you would never have talked about it before if it wasn't for the fact that, oh, Eugenia Cooney's getting attention, so I'm gonna make a video about anorexia because I care all of a sudden. That kind of deal. Like, you do the same thing. Like, that's your whole branding. That's your personality right there. You're just talking about yourself, about how people only care when something happens, because that's what's you, because you get views and attention and likes, well, I guess more dislikes in this case. But, that's how it is.
What I mean? So I don't know. I would love to know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. But lastly, my heart goes out, to his family and everybody
Why wasn't this in...
has been affected by this.
Why didn't you speak about this at first?
Not just to drugs or alcohol, but from health issues, from suicide and everything like that. And I know that pain. You know what I mean?
And then he's gonna plug his book in the merch at the end.
And discuss, I want to also thank Dante. I'm going to link his video down below. Like, this dude has 1.1 million views already, and thank God this dude is talking about this to such a massive audience. His reach is way further than mine, so I'm glad that he is bringing this up to his community as well as everybody else who comes across that video. But like I said, it's an excellent video. Go check it out. It'll be linked down in the description and in the pinned comment. All right, thanks for watching. I might not be uploading for a couple days. I got some stuff going on, but yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Rewired Soul. Feel free to reach out DM. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, feel free to reach out to me.
You're not a professional, though.
But I can point you in the right direction. All right. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Oh, he didn't plug his book as his merch this time. Let's take a quick look at the comments, though. Delete this video and the one before this. You help no one, and his loved ones don't need you to act like a 6-star vulture. This is wrong. You need to quit YouTube. Full stop. The criticism is not that you shouldn't talk about it. It's that you shouldn't make declarative statements before there has been medical confirmation. You made a statement in this video they had no medical history of seizures. How can you say that with any authority? Were you his doctor? No. The point of these conversations are important to have when, and if, we had the definitive confirmation of cause of death. Take the inverse. What if it wasn't drug-related, and you've now put all this out into the public discourse while you haven't had the fleeting moment of a trending topic? Well, you have. But how do you unring that bell? You don't. The subject is important, but you've taken away any sensitivity and consideration about the conversation, because what feels tantamount to a clickbait title to try to catch the algorithm. I agree with that person. You have no respect for anyone, living or dead. You'll continue to say you have good intentions until you're blue in the face. But we know you all lie, and you know it too. And the sick thing is, you don't even seem to care that your cover has been blown, because you still get to the profit off the dead and those who agree with them. Sorry that I read the comments, guys. It's just I feel like they say what I want to say that I can't say because I have anxiety. You were truly an awful person, really. First with etiquette and then with Juice. Maybe you could have just had some respect for other people. Oh right, that's the word you can't comprehend. That's why things happen to you and then you try to defend yourself like if you were the victim. Actions have consequences. Moral compass broken. I'm not doing this for clout, sure. Not mixed reviews. You obviously want to make money off a dead man. You speculated it was drug use with there not even being an autopsy. If he didn't use drugs, what would you have said? why point out that aspect of his life? Because you always try to find some strand to tie to talk about yourself. Yep, there he always is talking about himself somehow. Again, no one was thanking you. You're not any kind of professional. Please explain the pathophysiology behind any of the drugs. I'll wait. Everybody can have a seizure. It all depends if the threshold is met. You have no right to capitalize off of someone's death. You need more help than people you discuss. Please just stop. Oh, let's see what he says to this one. I have been clean 7 years. Yeah, but you replaced YouTube with your new addiction. You know, you who hasn't heard the real cause of the seizure have no right to be making statements about why he died. Check the pinned comment and then kindly get out of my comment section. That doesn't mean the cause of death was from it, but okay, boomer. The thing is, like, at that time, it was drugs, but it wasn't confirmed then, so it makes a big difference. Wow, nice job trying to pop out someone's death, Smith. I hate that the Rewired Soul does this thing where he hearts a comment to try to, like, pull a fast one on them, like, oh, look, see what I did. You don't think this was for the money? I probably made $2. Get out of my comment section. That's $2 more than you should have ever made. And that's, like, so, like, how do you not see the problem with this? Can you stop being manipulative? I want to see if you comment any of this. Chris stopped. Take a step back. You don't know the guy. Saying what caused it, you just don't know. And putting these videos out there? Seriously, dude. And yeah, you really made another video about him. What the hell, dude? You can't take criticism and admit your wrongdoings, then you don't deserve to have this platform. It's obvious that this man's death will get clicks, which means more money in your pocket. But being someone who is apparently in recovery, you should know now that more than ever, his family, friends, and fans deserve empathy. Y'all won't be seeing me with demonetized ads on video disrespecting someone within literal hours of their death. Big yikes. Just curious, if your son died, would you jump in on YouTube and pull an Onision and talk about it for mental health awareness? Just curious to what the limits to respecting a human being. Or you could have just been, it's hard to say. It's not too soon. Yeah, I don't agree with you. Yeah, there is people like that, but there always will be people like that. There's the usual sycophants in here. He's not a victim of cancel culture, he's just a terrible person. But anyway, so in my upcoming days, I'm going to be making a video. Sorry this was so long. I'm going to be making a video about what I was originally going to make was about his video about Onision and his kids, which, oh boy, I already hate that video with a passion, but I saw this Juice WRLD stuff when I checked out his channel, and I know how sick and disgusting that is, even though I'm not a fan. Sending love to his family, his friends, even his fans, and he didn't deserve some guy on the internet pretending to be a professional on the internet. Okay, bye. See you guys in the next video. Chris needs to get off the internet. Oh my god.